topic. We've got to talk about Anthony Colandrea. You know, we've heard from players about him. We've heard from coaches about him. Obviously, the media has their opinion, and we've had our own. Based on what you've heard, what are your expectations, Sip?
He's going to win you some games. What I hear from the people who watch practice, a couple in particular, he is a high risk take. He takes risks. I mean, he's a swashbuckling, high risk quarterback, and he is. I think what you'll see is him win you a couple games because of the way he plays. Obviously, the critical thing is you don't want to lose games for your team at that position. So, you know the stats, 49 career touchdown passes, 29 picks. He had 9 picks last year at UNLV. If he could keep it to 9 in single digits, that would be great. You know, if he 25 and 9, something like that would probably get you set in that 7 to 8 win category. I don't want to oversimplify here. There's a lot that goes into this conversation, but what I guess I do want to see him. I want to see him be himself, which means he is going to take some risk. You have to live with it. Just keep it under control. Show a degree of maturity. I mean, be a team guy. You know, you're not being a team guy if you're going too far with the risk taking. So I'm excited. I'm really excited because I think he can put a charge in the fan base. I think we'll see it immediately, and you just hope that it carries through a long schedule.
Adam?
I've said this before, but I'll say it here again. I look at what's asked of him. Are we able to run the ball, or are we in 3rd and 8, 9 constantly, which is going to put him in a situation where he feels like he has to take risks? Are we in a situation where the defense is giving up 30, 35 points a game, or are they allowing 19 to 20? Because the less he feels he has to score, the less risks he's going to take risks naturally, but the less there's a difference between naturally just taking a risk because it's who you are and being forced to take risks or feel like you have to. Yeah. You've got to make plays. Yeah. So I look like, how's our special teams? Do we start with the ball at our 30 or at our 15? You know, what's the field position look like? So I look at what's going to be asked of him based on what's around him and what the guys around him are doing, because he's naturally going to take risks. Anybody who knows me knows I love people like this. Like, I'm not just saying it because it's Anthony Colandrea and he's our quarterback and I should say nice things. Like, I genuinely love people who I don't want to say all or nothing all the time, but I'm just like, let's go. Let's light this candle. Let's have some fun. Let's take some risks, but they don't need to be unnecessary. Like, people who don't wear helmets on a motorcycle. It's unnecessary. I don't get it. I'm sorry, Sipple. I love you, man.
I know you're fine on that. Hey, hold on. I get the it's a hot topic in our family, so whatever. But
can I tell you a story? So I grew up riding 4-wheelers. So I grew up. I about died 2 or 3 different times on 4-wheelers. Stories for another day. Like, legit. It was close. I got my roommate in college got a motorcycle one day, and I'd seen my dad ride them. I never drove them, and I'd been driven on them, but I was like, I don't know, like 2 wheels versus 4. I got on my roommate's motorcycle, just a parking lot outside of Harper Schramm Smith. It was a holiday weekend. Nobody was there.
Yeah.
I rode it for 10 seconds, wrecked it, got up, got off it, and haven't been on one since. Those things terrify me, man. They just terrify the crap out of me. But 4-wheelers I'm good with. If you got something, go ahead. Otherwise, I can get back to Colandrea.
No, that's interesting. No, it's a good discussion. Go ahead, Connor.
Well, I was just,
go ahead.
The only thing I was going to say was what's asked of him. But the other thing, I think he's going to ignite people. You don't have to be inclined to like people like this, like I am, okay? Because think of Brett Favre. And I've stayed away from this comparison because I'm not saying he's Brett Favre. But somebody said it to me the other day on my show on the ticket, and I was like, all right, somebody else threw it out there. He doesn't have to be Brett Favre's caliber of player. What I'm saying, people loved watching Brett Favre. He was like a child out there playing a game, just having the time of his life. He'd throw some picks, and then he'd leave you on a game-winning touchdown drive, and then he'd run around with his helmet in the air as he celebrated afterwards. Like, that galvanizes a team, that galvanizes a fan base. Those are kind of my 2 takes. I think people are going to be frustrated, and I think they're going to love watching him play all at the same time. I think the amount of risks he has to take, that he feels he has to take, will depend on what else goes on around him.
Great point, Connor.
I don't know that people will feel frustrated. I think he's going to do enough with his legs that people are so pumped that he's converting for first downs. It's 3rd and 5, and he finds a way to get it done, and he's extending it. And then he finds a guy open on the sideline or whatever. I think they'll take the risks and some of the downside with the turnovers, let's say, for the positives and the opportunity to go out and win games, because it hasn't felt like Nebraska's had a quarterback for the past few years who could, at the end of it, find a way to win. And I think he gives you a chance to. So I'm really excited about watching that part.
I had a good feeling about that acquisition from the moment I saw his name. I was sitting at this table when the Minchie news broke, and we were told this is it's got to be one of these 4 guys. One was Colandrea, and I thought, oh God, if they can get Colandrea, then they got him. I just had an immediate good feeling. This is the guy, and they had an immediate good feeling. I think it all sort of adds up.
Yeah,
I think about what we've gotten from the quarterback position the past couple of years. Like, Dylan, his best ball's probably ahead of him. I could see him leading Oregon deep into the college football playoffs in a couple of years. I can legit see that.
You're skewered for saying that. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna. Don't worry, they'll be happy with me here in a second. Okay, I just talk. Okay, I could see that though, and it's not a far stretch to see that. But he started 21 games for us, and he had 17 interceptions, and he had fumble. He averaged well over a turnover a game. And then if you go to Big Ten games, it was well over a turnover a game. It was an interception plus fumbles per game, and we didn't get the big plays. At least here, if we get turnovers, we get the big plays.
Yeah, you hope so. Yeah, good points, Adam.
Okay, we've got one from Betting Bandits again. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, "Can we improve red zone play on both sides? Get W's." I think
is the question.
Simple question is, what is your expectation? Are they going to improve in the red zone on both sides?
Go ahead, Sip.
Go ahead, Adam. I just want to give Adam credit. That you made me think whole Colandrea discussion. How much risk he takes will be dependent on what happens around him, which we always have to be mindful of when we judge quarterbacks. Yeah. I hated the Adrian Martinez discussion. He took too much flack. There wasn't enough around him. He had to do too much. You don't want that to happen with Colandrea. As far as the red zone goes, Betting Bandits got to the heart of the whole. I mean, you could almost say that is the most critical question of this season. We've covered it a lot. We don't need to belabor the point. They were last in the country in red zone touchdown rate allowed. Okay, there's that. And then they were 99th in the country in touchdown rate on offense. Can we improve? My God. I mean, if you don't improve, then there are people going to get fired. And the show we probably won't have a show if they don't improve.
Oh,
the Huskers Summit will meet its demise so quickly that people won't remember that it was even a thing. They better improve. How could you be worse is my question. Yes, they'll be better.
Sip is talking how I talk now. I like this. You're fired up. That's the energy I want out of the media guys.
Good God, they were horrifying. And I have to think it was addressed thoroughly all throughout August, right? Right, Adam?
I would think so. I would hope so.
Yeah.
So the Adrian Martinez thing, I'm sure you guys remember. He not only was our leading passer, he was our leading rusher 2 of the years he was our starting quarterback. So there was a ton asked out of Adrian Martinez. As far as the red zone offensively, I think that's when you'll start to see, maybe a little option, maybe a little read option, maybe a little RPO. That's when you're going to see some of these other things. Maybe, hopefully not a ton, but situationally it would be correct in the red zone. A design quarterback run where the running back can be an extra blocker. Situationally correct, again, not a ton. Yeah. I think offensively, because we scored on 56%. We were in the red zone 56 times. We scored 30 touchdowns. That's 56.6% touchdown rate. Not great on offense either. To your point, 99th in the country. I think that's going to vastly improve. I think the offensive line being able to run block and create holes a little bit better will also help us, because that's when things get tight. The windows get tight. It's hard to pass in there. Defensively, I'm just going to go with Sip. You got nowhere to go but up. So, yeah, I expect us to be better.
Well, transitioning, you just mentioned the run holes being better. we've got a question from Justin. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, who replaces Emmett Johnson and why? He was a beast. And I'm actually going to transition this to our third topic, which is,
good idea.
Are you buying or selling on E.J. Barthel saying this is the most talented running back room that he's had at Nebraska?